your ex said somewhere that he went into the show with the intention of, I'm gonna get famous off the
Harry was boring as on the show too. He's lucky that it was me that was there with him, because any other wouldn't have.
It's Sophia Franklin. You are listening to Sophia with an F, and the F is for phenomenal.
Hi everybody, welcome to Sophia with an F. We are recording from WTF Media Studios in Los Angeles. It's the dopest studio ever. I am joined by these very beautiful people, but before I introduce them, I'm going to tell you guys to subscribe. Period. Done. That's it. I would also like to apologize on behalf of all three of us. We all sound like Big Bird. We're all sick. And Francesca Farago, Jesse Sullivan, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Also, I would like to give a shout out to Romy, who is also here.
Romy the Palm.
Pomeranian and professional podcaster. We might hear from him in a little. We don't know. You guys are actually the first couple I've ever had on the show.
Really?
Wow.
Right? I'm pretty sure. The only couple I've ever had. So I'm very excited to ask about that dynamic. Before we kick things off, I want to cover everybody's pronouns.
He, him.
She, her.
She, her. What about Romy?
He, him.
He's pretty fluid, honestly.
He's pretty fluid with like
Okay.
his sexual preferences are very fluid. Like,
yeah, like
if it's
people
a
call
stuffed
him a
animal,
girl all the time,
a
and we
cat,
don't
a
correct
dog,
him.
he's all the above.
I love it. Yeah. Fluid. I fucking love it. I want to start with you, Francesca, because we were supposed to record, I'm pretty sure 2 years ago.
Yeah, I feel like when I was closer with Violet, living with Violet.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what really put you on the map, though, Too Hot to Handle. That was like, what were you doing before that show?
I was kind of, I don't know. I feel like I was
Chilling.
I was a little bit of a party girl.
Just
I
being
was
hot.
traveling around the world, kind of being like a little Instagram thotty, like taking bikini photos. My full-time job at the time was Instagram. So after I graduated university, I was like, well, I could go do more school, or I could post pictures and make money. So I decided to hop on the bandwagon really early in my early 20s. So yeah, I was traveling around, taking pics, and then I got reached out to for Too Hot to Handle. So then I switched to reality TV.
Got it. Okay. Was Dan Bilzerian ever involved?
Briefly, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I was friends with him when I was younger. It was mainly my friends that he was more interested in. We had more of a friendship, but he would let me tag along. So I tagged along.
Okay.
I think for like probably about a year.
Okay.
He would invite me places and I would just bring friends and go, and it was sick at the time. I don't know what he's up to now. I haven't taled to him in years and years and years and years and years. That was like an early 20s thing, you know?
Yeah,
I feel like after you pass 21, he's not going to like you anyways. So.
True.
This is not my world, so I have no comment here.
Yeah. This is before I was wholesome.
You're really wholesome now.
Yeah.
Do you get like a little bit like, I don't like to hear about like past relationships of Francesca?
Yeah, I think both. We don't really discuss stuff like that. Obviously, like in the world we're in and her life, it comes up all the time. Like social media, people ask about it, people comment it, but what do I really need to know, you know?
Yeah, we talk about like relationships and like meaningful relationships we've had in the past, but like
important stuff.
Yeah, but like flings like Dan and stuff like that, we don't bother discussing because there's no point.
So Too Hot to Handle, you go on this reality show. What the fuck was that like?
Too Hot to Handle was fun. How old was I when I did this? I feel like I was like 25 when I filmed that.
And how old are you now?
29.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was like 5-ish years ago. I was just more naive to reality TV.
Yeah.
And to producers and to experiences and to other people and like other people's intentions. So I just went on it to like, I genuinely thought I was going to meet someone, like the love of my life.
Yeah.
And yeah, I had a good time filming it. I wanted to cause drama. The cast was honestly boring. Everyone was just sitting around doing nothing. So I was like, who's gonna watch this? So I would just cause drama just for fun, because I was like, this is so boring. Like, I'm living here, no cell phone. I need to entertain myself. So I was
genius, and they need that too.
Yeah, so I just did that, and then it ended up being good for me after the show came out, because it made my career definitely take off. And then I did Love is Blind reunion, and again, I was like, well, I'm here to cause drama, so I'm just gonna do what I have to do. And then the producers of that show saw that and liked that, and then casted me for Perfect Match, which I just did.
Got it.
Yeah.
I actually had your intro as serial reality star.
Yeah, that's my name at this point, honestly.
What?
That's, I feel like, what I am at this point.
No,
honestly.
but you're so much more than that. Way more than that. But actually, no. Why am I saying it like it's a bad thing? People talk about reality television like it's a bad thing. Like, oh, you were on a reality show and you get pigeonholed. And do you really?
I mean, honestly, the one thing, okay, so we have friends that are actors, and they had to go back to like regular serving jobs after they did this like really crazy, amazing show. And that you can't show your real personality. You kind of have to like be, I don't know, demure a bit. Like Cole Sprouse did an interview and he was like being all weird. And I don't know, I feel like people don't show their real personalities, and you can't monetize off that. So I really like reality because I can be myself and I can say whatever I want after, and I was able to make a full career on social media and like I can literally do whatever I want and make money. And I feel like a real actor, you're more pigeonholed into just that. But reality, I can do real acting now if I wanted to. I can do hosting, I can do podcasts, I can do anything and say anything because that's just what's expected of me, because that's what I did on TV. So.
Right.
I also think like some reality people do get pigeonholed, but I don't think Francesca would. Like I think she's just so dynamic. Like she could do so many things. I always tell her that. I'm like, you want to start doing acting, like you would kill it. Like I've seen her act. It's nuts. So she's a little unique in that way, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks.
Welcome.
That was really cute. Me like thinking about my ex right now. Like,
oh no.
How did you make sure that you weren't just pigeonholed and you were able to like build this brand and turn, you know, that specific time in your life into this huge thing? I
think what I probably did that a lot of other people didn't do was not really care what other people think. So I know a specific person who I filmed with who was saying, oh, I'm the nice girl. I need to be the nice girl and I can't like deter from that. So she didn't really have an opportunity to like show different facets of her personality. And she's probably not going to get worked with again because she didn't like do anything to make the show interesting.
I love that.
So you can't really be a host if you don't do anything, because if you're a host of something, you need to be able to pull drama out of people and like create scenarios. So I think me just being able to like kind of not take like a role in the production, but to like be able to produce things in the show without being a producer made people that were filming notice that and want to hire me for other things.
That's so smart. I mean, if we're gonna just put that in basic simple terms, not giving a fuck what people think is what's gonna
and like taking a role, not just sitting back and letting things happen and like letting other people play you around. Like you have to take a full role in the situation and not care if you're going to be the bad guy, and not just focus on coming across like this perfect little angel, because that's not relatable enough. So,
I also think we're in like a time in the world where this is like so much more accepted. I think like maybe back in the day, like you did have to be like the nice girl and like the innocent, whatever, if you wanted this long career. And I think like that facade is definitely diminishing, and people are like, I want the real. I want to see who you are. I want to see you at your flaws. I want to see all these different things.
Right.
Because we're trying to like empower women, right? So it's like, it's that stifling thing like isn't it anymore.
Yes. And I also think that people just in general, they want someone with personality. You know?
Yeah.
So you initially went on reality TV looking for love, like genuinely.
I mean, I was naive and I thought that they were like, okay, we have perfect people for you here. You're gonna meet someone. The guys are so attractive. So I went into it thinking that I was gonna meet someone, but also knowing like right when I got there and you see the cameras and you see the mics, you're like, okay, I'm here to also film something and make the show as amazing as I can. So it was both for me. Okay,
so your ex, one of them, Harry Jowsey, he said somewhere that he went into the show with the intention of, I'm gonna get famous off this shit.
Yeah.
So did he kind of like influence you to like, did he like kind of tell you like behind the scenes like, girl, let's...
No, not at all.
So he didn't help you.
Harry was boring as fuck on the show too.
Oh, he was.
Yeah.
He just got lucky, a personality later.
He's lucky that it was me that was there with him, because any other bitch wouldn't have done anything. No, I mean, I didn't, obviously at the time I didn't know those were his intentions, but everything that's happened since, I quickly realized that those were his intentions, and even everything he did on the reunion and everything up until this very second of the day. It's for attention and to be more famous. So there's no really longevity there because there's this very disingenuine quality about those type of people, and I mean, I can see right through it.
Right. And over time, people start to.
I mean, obviously, I couldn't see right through it
then
because I was new.
Of course.
To the
And you're not that type of person, so you don't know to look for that, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, I need to know. How would you instigate drama? Well, first of all, were you drunk like 99% of the show?
Which one?
The Too Hot to Handle.
Too Hot to Handle, we had a 2-drink a night limit. So no.
Stop.
Yeah, the only times that we got more alcohol was if there was like a private suite situation. Then they would give you like a bottle of champagne. But other than that, it was 2 drinks a night. So no, we were pretty sober.
Okay.
Perfect match, blackout the entire time.
Okay,
But
I love that. Well, I don't love that, but for any of my young, impressionable listeners, I do not love that. Just would like to clarify. That is fucking crazy. 2-drink rule.
Yeah.
I thought all reality television, they're like trying to like basically put alcohol
I think in most shows, that's what they do. They would like pump you with alcohol because they want you to make like crazy decisions. But on Too Hot to Handle, if everyone was drunk, there would be no money left. So, and my season was a little bit more PG than the rest of them. So I feel like, I don't know what the limit was later on, but 2 drinks.
Got it.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
I appreciate that 2-drink though, because if it was more than that, I think it would have been crazy, but not in a good way.
Yeah.
Not in a good way.
Yeah.
But you were able to just instigate drama and cause drama, just sober Francesca.
I was just out of boredom.
Do you do that in your relationship with Jesse?
No.
Like I feel like our relationship is so different than like the reality show Francesca. I mean, when we were first together, like when the drinking would cause like arguments and stuff, but I think that's like pretty common with relationships these days, and when alcohol is involved, like it was nothing like
1,000%.
And now we're just like so wholesome.
Yeah, we fight like once every 6 months.
Yeah. And it's like
once every 6 months.
Yeah, and it's like over the dumbest thing.
Yeah, the dumbest stuff.
And we talk and we're over it.
And we're over it. Yeah.
Seconds.
I read an article on Elite Daily, and you were talking about, I don't know, like how you guys get over arguments, and you were like, we just baby talk.
Yeah.
We baby talk all
the time.
We baby talk.
Like you just do a baby voice?
So like if he does something I don't like, or vice versa, we'll be like, baby, I didn't really like that. Like,
you just go high pitched.
Yeah. And you like talk like a little baby, because then you're like, okay, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
I can tell when like I'm
you.
like annoying her, but she doesn't want to be mean. She's like, oh, can you like not stand right behind me right there, baby? Oh, I love you so much. And she's like, and then it makes it nice, and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I love you.
Right. Yeah. She's like saying something awful, but she's like, I fucking hate
and it really does work. Like
it works,
it's helped us so much.
It
And even
works.
when we are having like more serious conversations, and you could tell it's like kind of getting heavier, we'll be like, like we start doing the voice again, and then it like calms it down.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so for anyone listening, if you want to like, try to end an argument or just make it a little more, what's the word? What the fuck is the word? Just a little more, just
lighthearted.
better, smoother,
lighthearted.
Yes.
You can't get mad at someone if they're talking in baby talk. No. Like you can't be like, you dumb.
No, you
if
can't.
They're like, but sweetie, I love you so much.
That's some fucking incredible advice.
My 14-year-old hates it.
I was just about to say, I feel bad for Arlo.
Oh,
we look over and
they're
Arlo's like staring at us like.
They're like, ugh.
Arlo probably rolls his eyes.
Yeah.
Or I'm sorry, what are the pronouns?
They or
good.
he is fine, yeah.
They or he, okay.
They
Yeah.
roll their
Rolls his
eyes.
He's
Especially Gen Zs, like they think like that shit is like so cringe.
Yeah.
I mean, it is kind of, I do it.
Yeah, like if I see it to other people, I'm like, oh, but like when we do, I'm like, it's so cute.
Right. But in public, you guys would not.
We slip up.
Yeah, we slip up. We're like in the
up.
coffee shop and we're like, me. We look up, we're like, oh shit, we're in public.
Yeah, or like we've like filmed like brand deals and we didn't realize we were doing it till we watched it back
I've
and we're like,
had
oh,
to
shit.
delete
Yeah.
full videos we filmed because we talked in baby talk the whole time and I didn't even realize.
Yeah, we're like, we just get so used to it. It's
Yeah.
That is fucking hilarious. What the brands are like, okay, so we're going to talk like adults because that's what we are.
No, we
Let's
watch it
not.
back and I was like, I sound like that? I'm like, okay, delete this, refilm, get like
Yeah.
our talking voices back.
So you would start drama on the show. I am an advocate, and I know this is not healthy, for starting fights in the relationship if things are getting stale. Mm-hmm. Not anything serious, but just like causing a little bit of drama so that an argument ensues, and then you have to like come back together and like tell each other like, oh, I love you?
Yeah, I don't know. We don't do that.
You guys like, so that's fucking toxic.
I
don't think it's toxic.
No.
I do get where you're coming from, and I think maybe in my past I did it, but I feel like our lives are already so much all the time, and I think we're both so ready to just like have this our safe space that like we like it that way. Like our outside lives can be crazy, and we come together and it's like, oh, this is where everything's calm, and we can like drink tea and watch Survivor and like
Such a good point. That was the issue in my last relationship, is it was not my safe haven. And that's what I need, because my life is so fucking crazy. When you're in the public eye, it's a lot.
It's good to have someone to like come home to and like be
so chill. You and I mean, I guess all of your relationships have been public, really. Harry was super public and a little bit messy, correct? And then after Harry, you went on, well, I guess you could tell me, but then after Harry, you went on what show? Love is Blind.
After Harry, I moved to Mexico for a bit, and I dated someone named Demi. I did her show with her. She filmed a show in the UK, so I filmed that for a bit with her, but then I did Love is Blind. Wait, no. I did Love is Blind first, and then I met Demi, but Love is Blind, I did the reunion. So they brought me on to just stir shit up.
Got it.
Yeah.
And then you went on the Perfect
Match. Yeah.
I do remember that. And then the Perfect Match, you were blackout the whole time. So naturally you created plenty of drama. Yeah.
When I watch reality shows, you can kind of tell who's being fake and who's like being real. And I have, especially when I'm drinking, I have no filter. And if I think someone's being fake or if I see through something, I'll call it out. And even on, we just watched Love is Blind season 4, and there was like 2 mean girls on it. I'm probably going to get canceled for saying this, but there was 2 mean girls on it, and some of the stuff that they were doing, I literally was giggling because I was like, that's something I would do. Like, a girl came into the room.
Copied your playbook.
But they were a little bit different in a way. Like, I was kind of trying to be more comical with it, but a girl came into the room and she was bawling her eyes out with their fake tears anyways. And she was so dramatic, like after 6 days, like, and this one girl starts giggling, and I was like, I would have giggled too, but people hated on her for giggling, like, because it was a moment, but you could tell this girl was faking it, like she was doing it. It ended up coming out after the show came out that she was saying she was just in it for TV or whatever, but like I saw through it, so I would have giggled too, but if I giggled, you're the bad person for just being real. Like,
okay, got it. But but on the Perfect Match and all of the shows you did, you were always real.
Yeah, 100%.
And that's why people love you. Yeah. Because I feel like out of, all the people that I remember from Too Hot to Handle, I remember you and I remember Harry because I don't like him. So then on the Perfect Match, you end up dating a girl, right?
Yeah, briefly, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So at that point, had you like been public with your sexuality?
Yeah.
You had?
Yeah, I dated someone publicly. Her name was Demi for
Demi.
4 months, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. On Too Hot to Handle, were you open about it?
Too Hot to Handle, I kissed a girl, but that was they didn't like include any like bisexualness. But to Perfect Match, they had more. Like they had Carousel, one of my friends who got engaged on the show, not together anymore, she was like openly bisexual, so there was a lot of talk about that, and there was a lot of talk about me, and I think they were like introducing the element of queerness. Maybe they'll do like a queer Perfect Match in the future, but it was me too.
Because I feel like every single dating show is for straight.
I think they should do a bisexual one because that's so much. There's so many possibilities there.
Right.
Girls on girls, guys on girls, guys on guys.
Yeah.
Like that would be. I would love to host something like that.
How have they not already done that?
Yeah, I know.
It was the first queer. Was it Love Is Blind or what was it?
Ultimatum.
Ultimatum. I just saw the trailer for that, and that's like pretty big, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is it what? Is it?
It's like the ultimatum. It's like
the ultimatum. Did it already come out?
Yeah.
I actually don't watch reality TV. The first time I did was with her, so like I really don't know a lot about like even the shows. Like she introduced me to Love Is Blind like this season. It was like the first time I watched it. I was like,
yeah, it's just like a Netflix reality show that they did a queer version of, like a lesbian version.
Okay, got it. Well, finally, in 2023, here we are. On the Perfect Match, you were openly bisexual there, and was that like? Were you worried to say that? Did you not give a fuck?
I mean, I don't think I've ever really been worried because there was one girl on the show who was bi, and she was a little bit worried because she was never really public and like she was worried about like family opinions. But I feel like because I'm just older and I've like been in an open relationship with a girl before, like very publicly, and everybody knew that it was kind of just like, it is what it is. And I think it's cooler to be like bi than it is to be straight.
Yeah, and
so
like she was so like public, like there was like stuff they were calling her like Canadian bisexual beauty, Francesca Farago.
And, like,
God.
we had dated before the show, like 6 months before, 7-ish. We dated in like the summertime, and it was filmed in March. So that summertime when we were together, we were posting about our relationship as well. So it's like I was openly queer at that time, so I wasn't nervous. No.
So I've talked about on my show hooking up with girls a lot, and I always have people like DM me like, okay, well, would you consider yourself bi? Like, what do you consider yourself? And I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You don't need to have a label, I don't think. Like
don't.
I don't need to.
I consider myself more like pansexual. Just you're kind of interested in like the person and their energy as opposed to like their gender or anything like that.
Yeah.
Or like anything. So it's kind of just like more fluid. Yeah. Like you don't really need to put a label on it.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's
or just queer. Yeah.
Yeah, queer like pansexual is like great terms for people who aren't exactly sure, because like I think people confuse it with bisexuality, which is like you're attracted to both sexes. You like men and you like women, whereas like Francesca kind of doesn't really see the gender as much. And I think that's different.
Yeah.
Like it's more of like this very like open fluid, whereas like bisexuality, it's like very like binary. Like I like girls and I like things about girls, and I like guys and I like things about guys. So.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah. And you, Jessie, your TikTok, you have really shown your entire journey. Jessie, if you could like walk me through, because that it's so admirable how open you've been and how transparent you've been with the whole process.
Transparent.
Transparent. Yeah.
Wait, that is fucking hilarious.
People have commented that on my TikTok before.
Oh,
like,
shit. I thought maybe like I could make it my little thing
you
here.
can. It's yours.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, it's, to be honest, I've said this before, like it wasn't the easiest thing to do. I wish I was like, oh yeah, like I knew like when I started transitioning that I was just gonna like post it everywhere. I did not. Like I was actually really concerned, especially at that time as the pandemic. Trump was in office. It was like not a good time in the world. Not that it's gotten any better. And I remember like literally considering like, could this be like unsafe for me to do? Because I have a kid. So that's always my first thought. And I had already done Instagram and TikTok like when I was out as a lesbian at the time. And so I kind of knew what comes along with that. I knew the hate that comes. So I was like a little scared. Like long story short, like I got like a DM from a young person that was like, you know, I look up to you so much and like you've kind of saved me essentially. And I was like, okay, that it was like the night I was considering telling my entire transition story. So I was like, okay, next morning I literally posted it on TikTok, and it ended up hitting like it's almost at 60 million. So like that's where I got like a lot of my following. And then from there I just kind of took on this responsibility as like an older trans person to like be there for the younger kids that like I didn't have when I was young. I didn't have anyone that was out there saying like you're not a freak. And that's really my goal now. It's like I just want to be there for like the younger generation and make sure they know like they can fall in love and they can have a family and they can be successful and happy, and even more importantly like they can be like alive, because I've had like young kids literally be like, I seen you, like I didn't think I would even ever make it to that age. So like that's really, that kind of encompasses it all and like what I'm trying to do.
I mean, mic drop. That is so commendable. And I love that you were brave enough and are brave enough to do that, because we don't have enough of it.
Yeah, no, we don't.
At all.
There's no trans like masculine people in the public eye. Like there really isn't. Like Elliot Page coming out was huge. And like I look up to him so much, because going from being someone who was in acting and that image of you is out there in the world for the rest of your life, and to be brave enough to do that is so huge for young people that look up to him. But you know, when transness does get talked about, it's usually trans women, and it's not a positive thing. It's usually that they're saying negative things, but like trans men really kind of get pushed aside, and that's why I think it's so important, because like growing up I thought like literally something was wrong with me. And so you know, I just think we need more people out there like being like, no, it's perfectly fine,
and being open about it. Wait, can you tell me a little bit about that? So growing up, you just felt like there was something wrong.
I felt like exactly like you probably heard the term like felt in the wrong body. That's exactly what it felt like from as far back as I can remember. I remember thinking I was a boy, but something went wrong, and I was raised really religious, so I thought God made a mistake, and I was like, God did something wrong. Like, what the hell? Like, why did I deserve this? I have 5 sisters and 2 brothers. So
were you raised Mormon?
Catholic.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have the whole Mormon thing, so I was just curious.
Yeah, but like it's similar. There's a lot of similarities. Like the big families and all of that. Yeah, my parents did not believe in birth control, and it was like have as many kids as possible. So I was raised around like so many girls, and then I had my 2 brothers, and I did not identify with my sisters, only my brothers. I always was with my younger brother. We did everything together. I was like, something's wrong. And I used to like, once I was old enough to kind of comprehend what was happening, I thought I was just going to hell. Like to me, that's what I was taught. I never heard the word transgender, literally not in media, not anywhere. It did not exist. But I knew clearly this isn't something right.
And how old were you when you started feeling like there's something wrong?
I mean, I would say 4, but like, I was like, it was really like pre-puberty that like it became real, because I was like, oh, now I'm not allowed to run around with my shirt off anymore. And I dressed like a boy. I wore baggy pants and I had my shirt off and backwards hats. And then I got to an age where my mom was like, no, like this isn't how ladies dress. Like you can't do this. And that's when like the social pressures hit me, and I was like, oh my God. And that's when it got worse. Because when you're younger, you're kind of androgynous and people don't really care, you know? Yeah. But when you're like 12, it becomes like, oh, why aren't you liking boys? And why aren't you like interested in makeup and stuff? And so that's when like I would say like puberty started to hit, and I was like, this is something so wrong. Like I feel so off, and like
oh my God, you must have felt like extremely alone.
Yeah, 100%. I like would literally cry into my pillow at night and be like, God, like when I wake up tomorrow, make me a boy. Like I don't want anyone to know, just I wake up and I'm a boy, and everyone thought that my whole life. And I think that's so crazy, because when I transitioned older, I was like, I want this transition. Like I didn't want to wake up and I had been born a boy my whole life. I wanted to wake up and transition and do this process.
Wow.
And show the world that I did this process. So I think that's important for young kids to hear too. Like you don't need to wake up and it's this like magic thing that happened. Like you can go through this process and it can be okay.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with going through the process. You weren't born wrong.
Yeah.
Is basically what you're saying.
Yeah. Just the skin's wrong. You know, the outside's a little off. That's all it is. Like
I love that message.
I describe it as like kind of like being born in like a costume, like a really poorly ill-fitting costume, and it feels uncomfortable your whole life. And then you take that costume off and you're like, oh, I can breathe. Like that's what it's like.
So you are kind of keeping this to yourself. Not kind of, you are. And you never expressed it to your parents.
Oh my God, no. Like I also was attracted to girls when all this was happening. So I was so confused, because I was like, wait, I'm a boy, so liking girls makes sense. But then I was like, but I can't tell anyone I'm a boy. So now I'm this girl that likes girls, and I was like, wait, so am I gay?
I'm confused.
And the only term I did know growing up was that gay is bad. So I definitely couldn't say that. So it wasn't until I had already had my kid that I came out to my family. I came out to everybody, because at that point I was like, fuck it, I have nothing to lose now. Over time, like dressing boyish and, you know, presenting as like a masculine female, it worked for a little bit and it did hold me over. And then time just kept, I was like, okay, still, this is not right. And I was lucky to have an amazing queer community that was like, I just got top surgery and I'm on hormones. And I was like, oh my God, okay. And look how happy and safe and everything they are. And then I just went ahead and made that leap.
So for anyone listening who is maybe like what you're saying is resonating with them, what advice would you give them? They're feeling alone. Their parents are, you know, religion up the ass and think everything is bad. What would you tell them? I
think I've been asked this a lot, and it's so hard because I never want to give a young person advice that puts them like in harm's way. Like I could never tell a 12-year-old like, oh yeah, come out to your parents. Like this has resulted in death.
Great point.
So what I do always say is we're lucky to live in a time of, you know, having these rectangles in our hands that give us access to the entire world. And in there can be a lot of negative, but there's also a lot of really amazing parts. And there's communities that are out there and that are so supportive. And that's where I first started out. I was on Reddit, and I was on, you know, finding communities on Instagram and whatever it was at the time, Tumblr. And it's crazy how much those little communities and other people being like, oh my God, I feel exactly how you feel. That literally saved me at the time before I could find the in real life community once I was like old enough.
Yeah. I think that's great, because you can't tell someone how to, you know, come out or not come out or exactly what to do. But what we can say is find a supportive community that understands.
It really does help. It's the same as like finding that, you know, when you go to high school and you're scared and then you find that one friend and then it makes your whole high school experience. It's kind of the same thing. You need that like hug, that virtual hug that's like, no, I feel like you, and like, no, you're cool and we can text all day, or like whatever it is.
Yeah.
Until you are at a point where you can fully, you know, do whatever you need to do to be who you are.
So how old were you when you had your kid?
I was a senior in high school, so I was 18. Yeah.
So young.
Yeah, I was young. I was a really young 18-year-old too. Like, when I look back and I was like, oh my God, I was a baby.
Yeah. But you were Catholic, so they were like, abortion.
I was homeschooled almost my whole life too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, so abortion, it was like, you didn't even know what the fuck that was.
No, it was not an option.
I went to private Catholic school, and they made us watch this Dr. Seuss movie, and it's like, a person's a person no matter how small. Like, they made us watch that shit in religion class, I remember.
Yeah.
Like, it's insane.
No, I was just telling her not that long ago that like literally my whole life until I was old enough to like find information out on my own, I actually thought they were little babies, because it was like, it was told to me so many times, the pictures were shown to me, that I was like, I get, you know, you believe it when it's all around you and no one's telling you otherwise. And then we were like talking about it because people are now showing on TikTok like, don't be tricked. And I was like, yeah, like literally it wasn't until like I was an adult and could like go on the internet and like search that.
Yeah, it's absolutely insane. When I think about like my private Catholic high school, I'm like, what? And there was this game they would have us play during recess, like Save the Baby, and there was like a baby doll. Like it was so bizarre.
It's insane.
But then also I was like raised Mormon, so it's all fucked up. So
that's
we need to get into that. But I think that's really good advice. You were 18 and Arlo.
Yeah.
Best thing that's ever happened.
Best thing that's ever happened. And it's funny because like pro-lifers have used that against me, because they obviously know I'm a very liberal person, and they're like, yeah, but like you have Arlo, like aren't you so glad? I'm like, no, I'm like glad I had the choice. That's my response, is like, I had that choice. I was not gonna like go to jail if I did get an abortion.
Yes. So people are just fucking hating on every single thing you do at any moment. I can't, Francesca, you too.
I mean, yeah, I feel like, I don't know if you get it worse, but different.
Yeah, it's different, I think.
Your hate is more like people who watch your shows and they're like,
you stupid bitch.
Yeah, you stupid.
And him is like, you're going to hell.
Yeah.
So like, okay, got it.
Yeah.
You're going to hell, you're a stupid bitch.
Yeah. Actually, smart.
I'm trying to think of what my
I think lately it's been like smart bitch. Like, I'm a bitch, but at least I'm smart.
Oh, that's a compliment.
Yeah,
though.
yeah.
Calling you a smart bitch.
I'm down.
I'm trying to think of the hate comments I get. Your voice is annoying. Not even when I'm sick. What's some other shit? You're stupid. You're not that hot. Just, I'm sure all the same shit you get.
The internet is brutal. You can't win on there.
No. And I've gotten the you're going to hell, because I talk about sex very openly.
Yeah.
You know? And like very graphically. So, I mean,
why are they listening to a podcast that's talking about sex?
Yeah.
Look,
you're going to hell. You're going to hell for listening.
Also, people hate. Exactly.
Check me.
Exactly. People also hate when they see women doing like the same thing a man would do, and they would say it was okay. Like you talking, like if a guy was sitting here talking about sex, they would be like, "Oh, such a badass." Like, but you doing it, they're like, going straight to hell.
Yeah.
And me, anytime I try to be funny in any way, shape, or form, it's like girls aren't funny.
Girls aren't funny.
It's like but we are making some progress as a society.
Yeah, I agree.
100%.
You feel that way?
Yeah.
I feel that way in most categories, but I feel like we're digressing in regard to gender and trans issues. Like 100%.
We're digressing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because
laws and stuff.
For a while, since it wasn't like a hot button topic to try to get the votes, transgender people mostly went under the radar. Nobody cared if they were using your bathroom, because you wouldn't even have noticed. A woman walked into your bathroom, you wouldn't even have noticed or cared. But now it's such a thing that more hate is on us than ever, and that's where I think
to get elected, people are like, "I'm taking away trans rights," and then the people in America will be like, yes, voting.
Like,
It's different in Canada, but the way it is here is wild.
Are you Canadian?
Yeah, thank God.
Like you.
We're moving there eventually.
Oh, you
we don't
are?
want to raise our next kids here.
Yeah, probably in like 8 years we'll move.
In 8 years.
Yeah, because
oh my God, you have an 8-year plan?
I think it's because like, yeah, we're like, okay, pregnant and then birth, and then when the kids are like 5, 6, then we'll go.
The fact that you have that planned out, I'm like, I need to get my shit in order.
We have everything planned out.
Yeah,
okay, so what's this timeline? Like, when are you getting pregnant?
We're probably gonna try and like get the eggs this summer.
You're gonna freeze your eggs?
No, because we need to like get his eggs and mine and like
so
fertilize them and then I don't know if they need to be frozen, but I don't really know how it works. But we need his eggs, we need mine, and then you put them in a dish and you fertilize them, and then you put them in.
If we were going immediately from like me to her, no, but because we're gonna probably make embryos and we're gonna use most likely Arlo's biological other dad for the sperm, so we would make my embryo from mine, my embryo from hers, his sperm, and then we would freeze them until she's actually ready to carry,
and then put them in.
So what? Both of you guys can be one embryo.
No, so it would be twins. It'd be his egg, my egg, same sperm.
And you're gonna have twins.
That's the plan, yeah.
That is so cool that you can just plan that.
I know. Yeah. We can like pick gender. We won't pick gender, but we could if we wanted to. Yeah, but we're not going to. But
oh my God. So I can pick gender if I want.
Yeah, you can pick gender.
When I get a boyfriend.
Yeah. I think it's like $20K maybe to pick the gender. But at that point, like, I think that's only necessary if we were to have like 3 girls or 3 boys and we really wanted, you know, a boy or a girl as the last, then maybe we would do that. But
that being said, we also are aware that like they could
change their gender. Yeah. We're very aware of that as well.
Point out the obvious.
Yeah.
They could also.
No.
I've never really cared. Honestly, I don't care, but you know.
Yeah.
I
don't really care either. Yeah.
I feel you. And how was this? Were you worried about the transition with like how it would affect Arlo or not?
I was, because it was kind of like a new frontier. Like I'd come out as gay and that was nothing. It was nothing to my family. It was nothing to Arlo. Arlo grew up with queerness all around them.
He's the cutest
kid.
I watched the video when he's interviewing you guys and I'm like, I have baby fever and I want a kid now. Not that he's a baby, but
he is forever to me. But he also a genius. And
the jaw structure too.
Yeah, like
and the eyes,
beautiful and like
gorgeous.
Just all around, literally like just amazing. But yeah, like Arlo grew up with so many queer people and literally hearing like, you know, my friends talk about like starting testosterone or estrogen like when they were like 3. So I knew it wasn't going to be this like crazy like, oh my God, like. What are you doing, Mom? You know, at the time, but I just didn't know what to expect.
Yeah,
it's such a new thing, and I think the world doesn't even really know how to respond to this. But luckily, I told Arlo, and Arlo was like, "Okay, so do I call you Mom or Dad?" Like it was like so simple.
Oh, I love that.
And yeah, they had a little like it took them a minute to transfer from Mom to Dad because obviously like for I think it was like 11 years at that point. They were saying Mom, but then it was Dad. And
they're like the most woke human on this planet.
Like
children.
Like, no, Arlo is.
Arlo.
So
okay.
woke.
Like it actually like makes me look
like way more woke. Yeah, I'm way more woke than us. Like they correct us, and like if I want to post something or if I need any advice, I ask Arlo. I'm like, are the kids still saying this? Is this culturally appropriate? Is this gonna piss anyone off? Like I always ask and they give me thumbs up or thumbs down. Because like they're in the Gen Z and the Gen Zs are a different generation than us.
Literally me and my team behind me right here, I've been like, what is allowed? Like what are we saying?
Because it's different. It changes all the time.
Does Arlo want a job? Because
literally Arlo should be a Gen Z consultant.
They could be an actor, a model, like all these things if they wanted to.
Their art is insane.
And they're great with public speaking as well. And they're great, like even when you film TikToks, like they're acting, I'm like 10 out of 10.
Okay, does Arlo have his own TikTok?
Yeah.
Is he killing it?
Yeah, I mean
they just started letting us tag them like a month ago.
Yeah, they're like very private. Like it was private for like years and like they wouldn't let me like tag it or
I'm not allowed to follow them yet.
Yeah, we're not allowed to follow them.
Yeah.
Because
they're so like teenager, you know?
Yeah, they're like they don't think like being famous is cool. Like it's like
they don't.
No. Like people ask them like, "Oh, your parents are so cool. Like aren't you so lucky?" And I was like, "No." Like
they wanted to be more like a Banksy, like covered. Yeah. They asked to have their face covered with like a bag for like years, and then they grew out of it. Yeah. They're like, never mind, I'll show my face. But they wanted to be like a cool artist that didn't show their face for a really long time.
Oh my fucking God.
I know.
Okay, so enough with like the overexposure, put out content constantly. It's like
They're just like this cool teenager.
Wow.
The Gen Zs are more like that though. They think the things that we think are cool is not cool for them at all. It's like horrible for them.
But I don't understand it, and I can't keep up with it, and I don't know what I should do.
I feel like a boomer half the time.
Arlo, I need to call him. He can consult me
Literally.
when I am putting together interviews and keep me woke. But also, I love that his question to you is just, can I still call you?
Yeah.
I love that.
Really simplified. And at that time, I started my transition as a non-binary transition because I knew deep down, but I wanted to see what like being on hormones felt like. And I was like, what if I start hormones and I don't like growing a mustache? Like I never had one before. So I started more non-binary, and I think that's why they also asked that question, because they were like, Mom, Dad, like what's good? Like it was so simple to them. Never once did they question me. Never once did they say anything negative. It was accepted in that moment.
Right.
And they moved on with their life, and they've never had a negative experience from it.
They don't have like, I feel like our generation and the generations above us have like years and years of like exposed hatred and exposed stereotypes that the younger generation just doesn't have.
Well, it's this thing like children they don't grow up with hate. Like you teach them to hate. Yeah. You know?
Definitely.
Your relationship, I can just tell, is fucking incredible. You guys have your 8-year plan. I love it. You have always, well, Francesca specifically, always been sexually liberated and just been very open in that way. But with all relationships come like different challenges. Have you ran into challenges like with this relationship in particular? No? It's the same as every other one.
No, it's not the same. I feel like my past relationships sucked compared to this. Like I would deal with them and I would be like medium happy, and I would think that like that was normal to like deal with like emotional abuse or deal with like shitty sex or deal with like trust issues, because I just thought like that was like you weren't going to find someone who was perfect for you. Yeah. Like I think we're like 98% perfect. Like we have like 2% that we have issues, but it's mainly my fault. So
no.
Yeah.
I mean,
the fact that he just said no is the sweetest
it is.
thing ever.
If we have issues, they're mainly because like I'm being moody or I'm getting my period or I'm like distracted. He's talking to me and I'm like distracted and I pretend I'm listening. Like
I didn't want to say it because I don't want to sound like a mansplainer or something, but like it's almost always the PMS. Like literally
I went off birth control,
just
so it's
that
like
time.
I was on birth control for like 10 years. So when I went off it, I was like, oh, these are new feelings. Like, don't touch me.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's
you're gonna blame it on the PMS right now.
Like, I mean,
okay.
I know.
Like,
no,
she says it, not me.
Before I get my period, for the week before I get it, if someone breathes on me wrong, like, no.
Okay, tell me if you felt this. As you get older, the PMS gets worse and worse and worse.
I didn't have PMS until like a year ago.
Same.
Yeah.
Same. I swear to God.
Yeah.
Like I used to not even really notice it, and now it's like my emotions are, it's serious.
Yeah, like impatient, like more angry, like sensitive, like
I get sad.
Yeah, I cry for no reason. I'm like, okay, it's very stereotypical, but it only happened to me recently. But it's fine because I know what it is, and then the day I get my period, I'm fine.
Yeah,
I'm like, okay.
That's what I do. Like from my perspective, like I try not to let it get to me because I'm like, she's gonna be okay in a few days. Like she's gonna love me again.
In a few days, we just gotta hold out for a few days.
But I was gonna say too, like I feel like any of the issues like we have had has been like outside things, like the
Perfect
show.
Match coming out was like not
because we were together before we broke up. She did the show and then we were together right after, so there was a lot that went into that because people were like, oh, did she cheat on you, or did you guys, you knew and you were together secretly the whole time, or like so much came out that was like hating on us, and it did like weigh on us. We stuck
and, like,
together
the
and
hate,
we were like, fuck everyone else.
Was a lot too, so it was
she was getting a lot of hate, and so I was trying to be there for her, but I was simultaneously like also getting like people like
sending him videos of
just horrible stuff.
Okay, so I did want to ask you guys about that because I read you guys were together and then you broke up. How long were you guys broken up for?
So we started dating in July of 2021, correct? And then we were dating for a bit, and then we were long distance for a bit, and then we broke up. I think it was like October-ish.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. I got kicked out of America basically because visa issues. Okay. So we were dating for like a week, and then I got kicked out of the country. So we were long distance for like 3-ish months, and it was
like
just
flying to Canada.
Yeah, he got a passport because he didn't have one, and he was flying to Canada, but we didn't know when I was going to be back, and it was just hard long distance. Like we didn't really have like a stable enough relationships to make the long distance work. So we broke up, and then around my birthday, in November, he sent me flowers when I got back to LA, and then we started kind of hanging out again. We were like just hooking up, and then but at that point I knew I was leaving for filming, so we just like remained friends. We're just hooking up a bit.
Okay,
and
so
then,
while you were broken up, you were hooking up.
Once she was back,
once I returned,
like, we kind of started talking again, and I mean, I know for me, like, I knew deep down, like, eventually we were gonna be together, so I was like taking this kind of like casual thing, and I was like, okay, like it can be that for now, because I think for us it was such a timing thing, and I was like, we have everything else. Once the timing is figured out, we're gonna be fucking gold. So I was like, it's worth the wait. So I just kind of let her do her thing, and I was like, you know, eventually it'll all work out.
Was there like any jealousy, like
with her going on the show, or
not even on the show, but just like if you guys weren't like official, like if she would like go out over the weekend?
I don't think. No,
I'm not a jealous type personally.
You're not.
No,
she can be.
Yeah, but
she says this all the time.
If I'm jealous, it's more for like dramatic effect. Like I'm more just.
Are you in denial right now?
I don't know. You being truthful with yourself? When have I been jealous?
When she drinks.
Okay. Alcohol involved does not count because I'm a different person when I'm drunk.
Yeah, me
I don't
too.
think a little jealousy is wrong. Like, I don't think you need to be defensive, because I get a little jealous because I love you and I'm protective of you. That's what it is. Like, I want you and only you for the rest of my life. So that's why. Like,
that's sweet.
Like,
okay.
You know,
I'm like, I need to get married tomorrow. Continue.
I think when she drinks, it comes out. But like, yeah, on the average, no, not really. And I think we both kind of knew. Like, we never even talked about it. Like, we weren't like, oh, like, are you? You know, talking anyway. It was just leave it where it is. And I think I also knew she was leaving. I didn't know what the show was. I assumed, but I just knew she was leaving for a show. So I think I just kind of left it where it was. And I was like, maybe when she comes back, or maybe down the line, or whatever.
Was it like if it's meant to be, it will be?
Yeah.
I knew it was meant to be. I knew. And she was like laughing at me because when we first started hanging out again, I told her, I was like, we're soulmates and we're eventually going to be together.
And she was like, bold.
She was like, okay.
But how fucking hot that he said that. I see it. I see it. I'd be like, damn. Yeah. Okay, so then you guys get back together. There's obviously like drama with the show. Whatever. You guys are
there wasn't drama until the show aired this year. When I got back, it was smooth sailing.
Yeah.
Like it was perfect.
Did you have anxiety like when this fucking show? That's how I feel every time a podcast episode is about to drop, by the way. When I have a boyfriend, I'm like, ooh, I just talked about some dick that I had hooked up with.
Yeah, I do. I mean, I was nervous a little bit about like, I didn't think that the show was going to be edited the way it was edited. So I was like, I was pretty stoked. I'm like, I did my job. Like, I thought I was funny, thought I caused drama. I made great friendships. I tried out relationships. They just didn't work. And I mean, the quality of men in that house just, you know, was like subpar. So
like the entire world.
Yeah, basically. But yeah, I left like content and happy and pleased with my performance and the relationships I had made during filming. So I was stoked. And then obviously the show came out and I was like, what the fuck is this? So that was more like hard after it came out. But
how did they edit it for you to look like what?
They just edited out like very, 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 very important things and kept in certain things that didn't really make sense and moved things around, moved words around. Yeah. Like kept in like just anything negative I said.
They're good at that.
I would try and be funny with it and they would take out all the humor and just keep in the negative. And I was like, ooh, that's not even how it went down. And like a lot of producers after the show would message me and be like, I'm sorry, like that's not how it happened. Like I didn't have a say in the editing. We're sorry. And I was like, okay, whatever. But I'm just like, I would never work with that production company ever again. And like, you know what I mean? So it just, you just live and learn. Like I thought that they would be like, I don't know. I just didn't think that they would do me that dirty.
Well, that sucks. Because like on the one hand, you want to be authentic. Yeah. But then on the other hand, you have to be careful. Like, how are they going to twist and turn?
But I knew going into it, I'm like, I could be the sweetest person ever, and they could still edit me to look like crazy. So
she did say that when she got back, and we were like getting back together, and I was kind of like, I didn't want to know really what happened on the show, but I was like, we touched base on it, and like, she was like, they could edit this really bad. Like they could make this
because I gave them a lot of.
Saying that.
I gave a lot of material to work with, so I was like, if they edit it in a certain way, like I could look horrible because there's times where I was saying some fucked up shit and I was like, haha, like I thought I was so funny, but it just came across a lot worse than I was expecting.
I actually, like, the other day was asked to audition for a reality show, and my sense of humor is like so dry, sarcastic, like I won't even laugh after. I would be so fucked. I'd be so fucked if I went on television.
But like that's what I was thinking, is like, as long as because I'm not mean, so as long as I don't come across like a mean girl, I'm fine. If I'm like the funny villain, perfect, but I came across mean, so that
took out the laugh at the end.
That could be a thing. But you're so hot, so usually they forgive the hot ones.
They forgive them,
the hot ones.
Yeah.
So you have that going for you, so you're fine.
Okay, so maybe I'll be fine. But I better get in there in the next 3 years.
Yeah, you just have to have like some like sweet moments, you know.
Just be nice like every once in a while.
Yeah, but like say what you really feel.
Okay. Yeah. I make sure I look hot the whole time. Yeah. Did you have like a glam squad?
No, I was really annoyed. They wouldn't let me bring my glam squad. I had to do my own makeup. It was depressing.
Ooh.
No, it was a real struggle.
We sound so like, oh my God.
I know. My eyebrows by the end of it, like they were just not.
What? They're like,
it was just horrible. I was looking at my makeup. I was like, but no.
Yeah. That's what it is. And you have to do your makeup every day.
It's a hard. It's a hard
life. You don't know
life.
anything about this, so you cannot
I mean,
comment.
she glams for 3 hours every time we do stuff. So I watch it and I'm just like,
well, my makeup artist is like my best friend now too. So we like talk shit and we like take breaks and like
pictures.
We're just chilling. So that's why it takes so long.
Yeah, and I'm just sitting there like, this is crazy. Like that. This is like a whole production.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
The best.
Like, we couldn't do this in like 30 minutes, maybe. Well, it takes a village.
Yeah.
It really does. Okay, this is the last thing I wanted to ask you. I love it, and I'm asking it for me, but also for the sleuths listening. So on this Elite Daily article, this interview, they asked you like what your best breakup advice is, and you basically said get a rebound.
Yeah.
And you were like, that might not be like the healthiest advice.
Yeah.
But I want you to explain it to me a little bit because I think it's genius.
I think, so when I was younger and if I was heartbroken or if I was upset or hurt over someone, the only way in my experience to forget about that person, make sure you didn't text that person again, was to get a rebound, because it would keep you distracted. And sometimes it wouldn't, and sometimes it would be beneficial because the rebound would make you realize if you really did miss that person.
Yeah.
And like, then you could go back to them. But it was just, honestly, just, it is what you need after you get out of a relationship. Like, fuck the self-healing. Everyone's fine.
Everyone says you just need to stay single by yourself.
I don't know.
You completely disagree with that.
Yeah.
I love that.
I do see where you're coming from, because I think like you need that like other person to like fill in that space just long enough to where you're like, okay, I'm not as like fucked up in the head anymore. Like,
even if it's someone just giving you attention, someone you're sleeping with, like someone to just text,
then you
like,
won't slip back
after after a relationship. If I don't have someone else to just like talk to and text and feel like pretty and wanted, I spiral and I'm like, what is the meaning of life?
Wait, I do too, but is there something wrong with us? Maybe?
No, because look, we're fine.
Well, you guys, I mean, like you guys are fine, but like I'm talking about us as two girls not being able to be alone at any moment in time.
I feel like you've probably been alone for times of your life, right?
No.
Okay. Literally me neither.
No, but I think maybe there's something we need to work on.
No, I don't think so.
Well, now you don't need to.
Well,
now you're set.
I was single in my like Bilzerian phase. Mm-hmm. That was my single time after I dated someone when I was 18 and I was heartbroken. Like, that was like my first love, and I still do believe that was love at the time. This is a different type of love, like, but I was like in love, and we broke up. I was heartbroken. It took me 2 years to get over it. That was the only time that I was single and was working on myself, but I was like just flying around the world, like doing whatever I wanted. I didn't have like a moment of like self-reflection, because like whatever. Like
you kept yourself distracted.
Yeah.
It's like, unless you're gonna be single and go on like an eat, pray, love fucking situation, you know, and like just sit there and journal and sit with yourself. But I would also be doing the same shit. I'd also throw myself into work or just distract myself. So if I want to text a guy, I'm allowed to.
I do think you learn a lot about yourselves by being in different relationships, like with different people. Like, I learned a lot about myself from certain exes that I'm really glad that I dated those people, because if I didn't, I would be lost in certain other aspects of my life. And it also pushes you towards the right person by dating certain types of people, because then you can realize, okay, I want this quality, I don't want this quality, I like this, I don't like this.
Yeah.
And like, even when we broke up, I briefly dated someone else, and I'm really glad. It's touchy subject, but I'm really glad that it happened, because I learned so much about what I did not want in that type of person. And maybe I would think later, like, oh, what about that kind of person? But I'm glad that I exed it and that I had that
So when
experience.
you dated while you guys had that brief breakup.
That was definitely her rebound she's talking about.
That was my rebound, yeah. But it made me realize that I missed him.
Yeah.
And then we got back together.
Yeah, and I mean, that's good. And I'm glad. I kind of knew she needed something like that. I kind of felt it. I think I was a little more like ready than she was, because obviously I'm a little older. I have a kid. Like, I've already been through every shitty relationship. I don't care to experience it, like different people anymore. And like for me, when I go through a breakup and like I do a rebound, it makes me miss the person more, because like every time, like even if they're a great person, because I'm like that, they're not Francesca. Like it's not like, it makes me like, I don't get that feeling of like, ooh, like I'm wanted and like I'm distracted. I just get like, oh, fuck. Like, that's not the person I want to be with right now. So like when we broke up, I didn't do it because I was like, I already know it'll actually just make me probably text her. So I was like more.
But we got back together after that relationship ended. So
how long were you guys separated for?
Like fully? Yeah, October is when we broke up. I started dating someone else, and then I broke up with that person. Like literally,
I always do that too.
It was an overlap. Like I broke up with that person while I was talking to him again.
Okay, so 5 months.
October to
end of
March. Yeah.
Who has a calculator or a calendar?
The day she got back, literally.
The day she
got her phone back, she texted me and she was like,
Got it.
She was like, are you still single? And I was like, yep.
Okay, thank God for that piece of shit.
Yeah.
That is no longer in our lives.
I'm glad it happened.
Yeah.
For sure.
I think that's really smart. Yeah, there's a lot of like self-discovery that happens when you're in a relationship.
Yeah, that's when I have my most self-discovery. I have never done that like single, like read a book thing. It's not for me. Read a book It's just, thing. I'm just such a relationship person, and like if you get married when you're 30, you're in a relationship till you're 70, so you're mostly in a relationship for 80%, 90% of your life. So I might as well learn how to be in a good one.
What do I have to do to get invited to your guys' wedding?
You can come.
No, I just like, this is the most romantic
I mean, I'm literally
I've ever seen.
Very close to proposing. Like she knows it's coming.
I think it might be while I have this nail set, but I don't know for sure.
Yeah, it's possible.
No, what kind of nails would you want?
No, these, the black.
Oh, you do want the black?
Yeah, I want black.
I asked her I paid for her to get her nails done, and I was like, you need to have your nails done over like the next 2 months, let's say. And I was like, what do you want? She's like, black. I was like, okay.
Oh my God. So it's black. Like, it's around the corner.
I hope so.
You'll see.
I wish you would do it right here for my view. Like, I'm not going to do that to you. You're like, are you fucking kidding me? I'm going to do it right here. Okay, so that's like coming up. Yeah. And you're going to be engaged. Have you told him like what kind of ring you want?
Oh, yeah.
Don't even get me
You're
started.
Like, I didn't even get to put
No. He did. He designed it.
It's been a journey. I feel like this has been like an era of my life, this ring designing. Like I went into, I didn't know like anything about a diamond. Like someone could have said something about a diamond. I'd been like, yeah, for sure. Yeah. That's cool. Like nothing.
Now he's like a professional.
Now I could start my own ring company. Like
because of all the knowledge.
Yeah. Like I left my birthday camping trip in last August, and I left that immediately calling ring companies. And so it's been that long. And in the beginning, she's like, I want dainty. I want it to be fairy-like and blah, blah, blah. And like all these things. And then as it went on, she's like, I want gaudy. I want gold. I want 23 diamonds. Like, I want it to look like it was like forged in the Lord of the Rings. Like, so I was like, it just changed so much.
Like, I want the diamonds
that
to be
we
this
finally
big.
got to a point where I was like, the thing you say right now is your last edit.
Yeah.
And then
last edit.
Yeah. And then like a week later, like, I'm already like obviously doing it, and a week later she's like, actually, I was like, no.
I did change it a few times, but I'm glad. I feel like the last things I mentioned were perfect.
Yeah,
so.
it's definitely.
And like we're ring changers. Like in 5 years, if we want to change it, we can do that.
That's what's so amazing, and I actually didn't know that. Like talking to the ring designer, she's like, literally, if there's anything Francesca wants to change eventually, we got her like that. And I was like, I didn't know that.
But I mean, you can't like change like the shape.
Yeah, like they can literally like reset it, and they can do whatever.
We're doing double diamond. Well.
Trois mois,
double diamond.
I think.
But it's cool because like she gave me all of her things, and then I did add my own like
flair. Yeah, like he designed it. So
I still designed it.
And then you get insurance on the ring, right?
Yeah, and then we're gonna get, what are they called?
A fake one? Like a travel ring?
Yeah, they're like a travel ring. Yeah.
Oh, a fake one.
So if we're literally going out at night and we're drinking, I wouldn't wear it.
Yeah.
Because like a piece of real estate.
Or like tropical vacay.
Yeah, don't bring it. So I would get like a replica made.
Got it. But if it's insured?
Yeah, I guess.
It's just so special. Like, even insurance wouldn't make me feel that comfortable. But
yeah, I would just get an exact replica with fake diamonds to wear if I'm out and if I'm ever alone or if I'm on vacation.
That's so fucking smart.
Yeah. So if you're listening to this, don't try and rob me because the ring's fake.
It was from a gumball machine.
I got it from Shein.
Okay. All right. Okay, guys, this has been incredible. Thank you so much for coming, Francesca and Jesse. Where can they find you? Hottest couple alert.
Francesca Farago on all social media, and then him, Jesse Sulli, on all social media.
On all social media. And you guys know me, Sofia with an F, Franklin with a Y. And Sloots, I will talk to you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.